This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers won their fourth straight with a 112-107 win at Charlotte. Sensational game for Anthony Davis. 42 points and 23 rebounds for AD. He had 21 points and 11 rebounds in the first quarter. The Lakers are at Philadelphia tonight. The Clippers lost by 2 at Phoenix, 111-109. A bright spot for the Clippers was seeing Kawhi Leonard play in the fourth quarter for the first time this season. Leonard played 6 minutes in the fourth, scoring 6 of his 17 points. Leonard has been on a minutes restriction to protect his right knee since he made his season debut on January 6th. He played a season-high 28 minutes last night. Tiger Woods is moving his Genesis Invitational Tournament to Torrey Pines in San Diego. The PGA event is February 13th to the 16th. Tiger normally hosts the tournament at the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is for all the folks who appreciate follow-through. Here's a quick recap of the KBLA Talk 1580 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. More than 6.4 million Southern Californians viewed our climate justice billboards and bus shelters. Another 1.5 million people listened to and or downloaded our weekly conversations with African American climate experts. Our KBLA Climate Justice web portal had 2.8 million unique visitors. Thousands more attended our 7 climate justice community events. More than 9.3 million riders saw our climate care messaging on metro buses and trains. And 39 million Americans accessed our C-SPAN Climate Justice Symposium. All told, our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign exceeded 471 million total impressions. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks all of our 2024 Climate Justice partners: LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Sierra Club, California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, LA City Council member Curran D. Price Jr., the California Wellness Foundation, MWD, AQMD, and the Port of Los Angeles. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
You a bad group. You know you are all that and then some. When you put out music and you got Prince covering your stuff, when Prince is covering your stuff, you know you don't hit the mark. I've been looking for this conversation for a long time, and so I start with that track from Prince, not just because he was my dear friend and I miss him dearly, because he and I had any number of conversations about this song, this track, why he loved it so much, why he decided to cover it. And it just tickles me, again, that the Stylistics have put it down so tough that you got folk of his stature covering their work. And so the Stylistics are on in this hour. It's been a couple decades since they put out new music. We'll talk about it as we move through this hour. They got a new album called Falling in Love with My Girl, but 57 years, and they're still doing it. I am honored to be joined by two of the original members of the Stylistics, Arion Love and Herb Morrell. Delighted to have them on this program. Brother Love, how are you, sir?
Tavis, I'm great. How are you?
Man, if I complained, I'd be an ingrate. I'm delighted to have you on, and all the better for hearing your voice. Herb, how are you, sir?
I'm mellow, feeling good. Glad to hear your voice.
Oh, man, that's kind. Kind of you to
Really?
say that. I am thrilled for this hour. And obviously, huge fan, like all the rest of us, of what y'all been putting down for 50-plus years. Let me just start with you, Ariane. When you first heard, I'll ask Herb the same question. When you first heard that track from Prince, what did you make of it?
Are we going to get paid for it?
just like the true old school artist. I ain't mad at you, man. I am not mad at you. Let me just ask: Did you get paid for it, Ariane?
No, we didn't, unfortunately. But I mean, it was an honor to have Prince do that.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know what he did as far as sales were.
Yeah.
Concerned, but we were saying like, hey, don't we get something like that?
so Herb, when you heard it, I mean, it is Prince after all. Again, covering your stuff, and you heard it. What went through your mind?
Well, like Aaron said, really it's an honor for any other artists out there in the business to duplicate, replicate, or do whatever you've done in the past in your music career.
Yeah.
But a person like Prince to do it, I mean, that's an extra charge there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you get from someone doing your music, because out of all the songs that's out there done by other people or even done by the stylists, that Prince chose to do one of our songs. It's a blessing.
No, it is indeed. It is indeed. I was laughing last night, and for that matter today, thinking about the fact that y'all been doing this 57 years and counting. And I got folk in this audience who ain't even 57 years old, nowhere near it. And y'all been doing this a long time. So let me start out early on in this conversation by asking either of you, Ariane, Herb, doesn't matter to me, to tell me the story of how the Stylistics came to be. How did this group come together all those years ago in the first place?
Well, it started from actually two groups. I mean, Herb was in a group called the Percussions, and I was in a group called the Monarchs, and we all went to the same high school.
Mm-hmm.
But Herb's group, they were the professional group of school. I tease Herb about it all the time because, I mean, they had to process the brocade jackets and the shirts, and we were just, putting ourselves together. Okay, everybody wear a white shirt and a pair of black pants.
Yeah.
So they were the professional group of the school. And when we graduated, our English teacher, Beverly Hamilton, she said, well, why don't you combine the two groups and change the name? Because her group had two singers, a guitar player, and a bass player. Mm-hmm. And my group had three singers and a drummer. So everything kind of worked out together.
Yeah. I guess the Lord had a plan. The Lord had a plan to bring y'all together.
Yes, for sure.
And the rest, as they say, is history. I am delighted to have for the rest of this hour Ariane Love and Herb Morrell, two of the original Stylistics. They've got a new project out. We'll talk about that. But I got some more questions that I got to ask. Looking back down the road at this career that has been so amazing for so long. The stuff sounds as good now as it ever did. You're listening to the Stylistics on Tavis Smiley.
Generous listening. Charitable listening. It's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Some people people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first, before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up.
Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Oh, this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
Today I saw somebody who looked just like you. She walked like you do. I thought it was you. As she turned the corner, I called out your name. I felt so ashamed when it wasn't you. Wasn't you?
Speaking of Prince, Prince would always say in concert, if you ever saw him, so many hits, so little time. So many hits, so little time. I can't do justice to all their hits in the little time that I have today, but I am delighted, thrilled, in fact, to be in conversation with Ariane Love and Herb Morrell of the Stylistics, celebrating now 57 plus years of doing what they do as only they can do it. A new project out right now. We'll talk about that. It's called Falling in Love with My Girl. We'll do that later in this hour, but just delighted to have some time to reminisce and have a career conversation with the Stylistics. I'm thinking, Herb, as I listen to this track, and Ariane told this story earlier, but those of us who are music lovers know that back in the day, there were so many groups, female groups, male groups, and something happened along the way where we got into a phase where we got all these solo artists, and I ain't mad about it. But take me back all those decades ago and give me a sense of what it was like competitively or collaboratively to be in a generation where there were so many groups, Herb.
Well, you know, we were very fortunate as growing up in Philadelphia, we grew up at, to listen to such groups as the Moonglows, the Platters, Temptations, Gladys Knight and the Pitch, and so on and so on. So, and whenever being youngsters, when you put a group together, you always wanted to emulate or imitate a group that was out there that was hot at the time.
Yeah.
And during the time that we were doing what we were doing, the Temptations was the hot. So we emulated whatever they was doing. And me personally, my favorite group, and it's not taking anything away from those other groups, was Gladys Knight and the Pips because of their class and their showmanship.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense, given what Ariane said earlier about how clean y'all were and the percussionists back in the day. So I get you were turned on by their professionalism. That makes all the sense in the world. Ariane, tell me more about growing up in Philadelphia. When we think about the Philly sound, of course, we immediately our minds go to Gamble and Huff and all the hits that they would have after, of course, the Stylistics first burst on the scene. But Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, you can't talk about the Philly sound without giving those Negroes a shout out because the soundtrack of our lives would be missing a lot were it not for Gamble and Huff. But talk to me. But again, there've been so many great artists from Philly. But talk to me, Ariane, about growing up in Philly and how that impacted the sound that you all created as the Stylistics back then.
Right. Well, it's funny talking about the Philadelphia sound, and I personally think that any group that came into Philadelphia to record, they used the same musicians as Kenny Gamble and them used. So that's really the structure of the Philadelphia sound, the instrumentation, and that group was called MSFB, mother, father, sister, brother, and Tom Bell, Kenny Gamble, they used the same musicians every time. And when people wanted to have the Philadelphia sound, they came into Philadelphia to record just to use those musicians. And these groups, like the Jackson 5, the OJs had the sound, but they weren't from Philadelphia. So you don't grow up with the Philadelphia sound that was created, I think, personally, in the studio.
Yeah.
Now, there's a Philadelphia mentality that we had, and it goes back to we always chose, even singing in school, to sing in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
And the bathrooms had that echo sound from those tile walls. And it was the same thing in the streets of Philadelphia. You got on the street corner with your boys and you just started harmonizing. And like Herb said, being a 5-member group, I think anybody wanted to be like the Temptations.
Yeah.
And luckily, again, going back to our manager, Beverly Hamilton, the Temptations were performing right outside Philadelphia at the Latin Quarter. And she brought us to the show and had an opportunity to meet them. So after their show, we in their dressing room singing for them. And it's just ironic how years later we end up on the same show with the Temptations.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew that part was coming. I am fascinated, and I know a little bit about this, Ariane and Herb. So somebody tell me more. But I am fascinated, given all the sexism and all the patriarchy, even still, if we're gonna be real about it, in the music business. That way back then, y'all had a female manager. A woman was managing this group. Her name was Beverly, as you mentioned a moment ago. Tell me about that, how a woman came to manage the Stylistics.
Well, like Aaron said, she...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Herb. Take it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. She was an English teacher over at the high school that we all went to. And she came up with the idea, because her association with the Monarchs, of why not putting the remaining members together from the two groups, because members either went on to further schooling or into the armed services. And upon her urgency, she put the remaining members together. So that's how we ended up with a female manager.
No, it's an amazing story.
Beverly,
go ahead, Arian.
Yes,
go ahead.
Yeah, Beverly was the manager of the Monarchs. And we were just a group, like I said, Herb and them, they were the professional ones.
Yeah.
I mean, they were working in Atlantic City, getting paid. We would do talent shows. So Beverly was kind of like our sponsor. And she said, okay, so what we're going to do, when we do a show and we get paid for it, we're going to buy instruments. And my group, we had one amp that the guitar player and the bass player hooked up to and played. So we didn't have, now our drummer had his own drum set.
Yeah.
But that's how we worked, and we would do local talent shows to get a name for ourselves.
Yeah.
And then Beverly was just kind of like the adult in the room who kind of like managed our money and was structuring the group so that we could buy our own uniforms and buy our own instruments.
Yeah.
And then when graduation time came and a couple members of my group got drafted and went to the college, and the same thing happened to her group. And she knew that, like I said, the percussion were like the professional groups of the school. She said, well, why don't you guys get together? Naturally, we wanted to keep our name, and they wanted to keep their name. And the guitar player for the percussions was sitting around my house, and we trying to come up with a new name. And that's when he just said, what about the Stylistics? And everybody looked at each other and said, hey, that works. That works.
Did he ever explain where that idea came from, the Stylistics?
Yeah, he cut hair.
Yeah.
So I guess it was
wow,
a hairstylist.
Yeah. Stylistics
from that point.
No, but it works. All these years later, it works. You guys were talking earlier about Beverly taking y'all to see the Temps when they came into the Philadelphia area, and there you guys are backstage in their dressing room or backstage singing for the Temps, which leads me to ask, and I'm always fascinated by this when I talk to artists, and everybody knows I love music. I love talking to artists. These are my favorite conversations. I'm always fascinated by how people go about creating. Speaking of stylistics, how you go about styling and creating and curating your own sound. It's one thing to have the Temps and others who are doing their thing, but at some point, if you're going to sell records, you got to do it your own way. You got to go about creating your own sound. And here you guys are blending groups together. It may be an impossible question, but Herb, you first, and then Ariana, you can chime in. Give me a sense, Herb, of how you all crafted the sound that we know as the Stylistics. I mean, you turn on the radio and you hear y'all stuff, you know it's the Stylistics. So clearly you succeeded in crafting a sound that's uniquely yours. But tell me about that journey to that sound, Herb.
That sound came about working with Tom Bell, the late Tom Bell and late Linda Creed, that gave us those early hits, You're Everything, Bet You By Golly Wow, Stop, Look and Listen. And Tom Bell had a way of utilizing Russell's falsetto along with his arrangements. Because prior to that, Tom had been doing the Delphonics. And then we came after that with Russell as the Stylistics. Tom created that sound with Russell's falsetto with the songs that he presented and songs that were recorded.
What's your read, Ariana, of how that sound came to be on top of what Herb just said?
Yeah, you know what? Our sound was there. You know, I remember hearing Russell for the first time. We were in junior high school, and he was he came out to sing with the all-girls choir, and I was a grade above him. And when I heard him sing, I said, oh, my God, who is that? And didn't realize that we only lived 2 blocks apart from each other. So through school, we met and started, you know, singing together. Russell already had that voice.
Yeah.
That identifiably stylistic voice. And that's what Tom Bell tapped into.
Yeah. No.
99% of everything we recorded was Russell's lead. It came to one point where I was singing a little bit with him on You Are Everything. It was kind of like a double harmony. And then I shared You Make Me Feel Brand New with Russell. But it was Tom Bell's and Linda Creed, too. Can't take anything away from her.
Sure.
Her lyrics and Tom Bell music and Russell's first tenor.
Yeah.
That's what set the style.
No, well,
and the sound of the stylist.
No, it worked obviously majestically, and here we are all these years later, 57 years later, still listening and still singing along. It's a beautiful thing. So I love doing this, and so just pardon me, but I just like doing this because it's fun for me. I want to just throw. We've mentioned a few already. I want to just throw some hit titles at you, and get each of you one at a time to tell me anything about this song you want to tell me. I don't care what it is. Just tell me a story about this song. I don't care what the story is. I always love the backstory to how these things came to be, something about the recording session, anything. I don't care what it is. I just love learning more about these songs that we love that are on the soundtrack of our lives. So somebody tell me something about Bet You By Golly Wow. Tell me about this song.
Kurt?
Bet You By Golly Why was a song, of course, presented by Tom Bell, Linda Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing it, you say, "Wow, that's a great song."
Mm-hmm.
Hearing listening to the lyrical content and hearing the format of what the song, how it was going, and how it was presented, and you just say, "Well, dang, that's a great song," but never knowing that it was going to be a great song. You know what I mean?
No, it became all that and then some. Ariane, tell me, Ariane, you mentioned earlier, tell me about You Are Everything.
You Are Everything. Well, it was funny how, well, with me, sometimes the guys say I'm the sensitive guy in the group, but when we went to work on a song with Tommy, we went into this little room that had a piano, and he would play the melody, and Linda Creed will sing the song.
Right.
And if I felt the hairs on the back of my neck like shriveled up, I knew it was a good song. The first time I heard You Are Everything, I knew that was a great song. And Linda had a great voice, too, so when she sung it, I'm listening to the words and I'm saying to myself, what did this beautiful young lady go through to come up with these lyrics? And she and I had a conversation a couple of years later. I won't go into.
Yeah.
But that she always amazed me of her lyric structure of all of our songs. Not just the songs she wrote for us, but other songs too.
Yeah.
You know, but the first time I heard You Are Everything, I knew it was going to be a hit.
Yeah, it's always fascinating for me to talk to artists, to hear their version of how these songs came to be and how they knew that it was a great track and how they thought and hoped and believed that they had a hit on their hands. But now you know Ariane loves edict, his credo. If the hairs on the back of his neck curl up, that he knows he's got a hit. You're listening to the Stylistics. More with them when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Why does Tavis say when we come forward?
Because he's not going back.
And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward. Forward.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm gonna pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at new NORDICUSA.com or CVS.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. New York State Trooper Thomas Massia and his parents have turned themselves in after Massia allegedly falsely claims he was shot. He faces charges of tampering with evidence, false reporting, and official misconduct. Detectives found cash and weapons at his family home during the investigation. The Kansas City area is experiencing the largest documented TB outbreak in U.S. history, with nearly 70 active cases and 80 latent cases where people are infected with tuberculosis bacteria but don't have the disease are confirmed. The opening bell rings after a massive tech sell-off led to a lower close on Wall Street. The Nasdaq fell over 3% due to AI competition concerns. Investors await earnings reports and the Fed's interest rate decision. And Bruno Mars is the first artist to surpass 150 million monthly listeners on Spotify. His latest track featuring Sexy Red was released on Friday. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Del Taco's new Chipotle Chicken Burrito and Bean Rice and Cheese Burrito, packed with flavor, made with fresh ingredients, and found on Del's Real Deals menu. You heard that right. These burritos on a value meal with everything under $3. Look at Del Taco, hooking us up.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers won their 4th straight with a 112-107 win at Charlotte. Sensational game for Anthony Davis, 42 points and 23 rebounds for AD. He had 21 points and 11 rebounds in the first quarter. The Lakers are at Philadelphia tonight. The Clippers lost by 2 at Phoenix, 111-109. A bright spot for the Clippers was seeing Kawhi Leonard play in the 4th quarter for the first time this season. Leonard played 6 minutes in the 4th, scoring 6 of his 17 points. Leonard has been on a minutes restriction to protect his right knee since he made his season debut on January 6th. He played a season-high 28 minutes last night. Tiger Woods is moving his Genesis Invitational Tournament to Torrey Pines in San Diego. The PGA event is February 13th to the 16th. Tiger normally hosts the tournament at the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? HIMS can help. Get started at hims.com/joy. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver $100 before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Made fresh daily in the Mert Park,
Los Angeles, California.
You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Oh, why? Because they want more pay. Buses on strike want a raise in fare, so they can help pollute the air. But that's what makes the world go round. The ups and downs of carousel, changing people's hands around. Go underground, young man. People make the world go round.
Ariane Love, to your mind, what makes this music, the music of the Stylistics, so enduring, sir?
Well, Tavis, we actually have not figured out the answer to that. It's even after 57 years, when people come up to us and talk about the music, I look back at the time that the music was coming out, right? And Herb and I, we have this conversation all the time that when the music came out, we were just a part of everything else that was happening in the 70s. Now, there's a love for that music that these people have. So when we see them sitting in the audience, we know that they came specifically to hear and see the Stylistics.
Yeah.
Back in 72, 73, we were just a part of every other stuff that was coming on. We weren't really established,
Yeah.
I would say. But now all of our songs are established hits, and when people come out, they come out specifically for that.
Yeah. I think, and I may get in trouble for saying this, but it's okay. Not the first time or last time I'll get myself in trouble with my mouth. But my friends know I feel this way already anyway, Herb, so it ain't no surprise to my friends. I believe, and I would debate anybody on any street corner anywhere, Philadelphia or otherwise, I believe that some of the best soul music that we have was made in the 70s. Some of the best soul music that we've ever experienced was made in the 70s. And so I asked Herb whether or not one agrees or disagrees, what it was like making this music back in the 70s.
Going to and agreeing with what you were saying, that there was some of the greatest music that did come out during the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But being when we first started in the early 70s, we were young.
Yeah.
So the element of we were making a change or we was adding to a change didn't come into play because we were just recording, making music. As fast as one song came out, it went right up.
Yeah.
Put out the next thing, that song went right up. So we was just riding the wave. And like adding to what Aaron was saying, it all didn't dawn on us until you got older and realized the effect that you had on people and their lives, good, bad, right, wrong, and indifference with our music.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all have made a lot of babies, man. y'all made a whole lot of babies.
Yeah, we have this part in the show where I'm talking to the audience, and I tell them, a couple came up to us and said, we have 3 children, and each of them were conceived on one of your songs. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, man. I don't know that there's a higher compliment you can get that people gave life. That people gave life listening to your music, man. That's about as good as it comes, Ariane. I tell you. Let me. I'm watching my time. Let me pivot here. So it's one thing to be riding this wave, as Herb put it, for 57 years. You got all these hits. You're still selling out shows. Because I'm right, and I know I'm right because Ariana and Herb told me I was right, that the best soul music was made in the 70s, and people are still vibing to that. So you're selling out shows, you're touring the country, you're touring the world. You don't have to go back into a studio. I laugh thinking about my late friend, Frankie Beverly. Mays toured for years without putting out new music. It didn't matter to the Mays fans. We wanted to hear those hits from Frankie Beverly and Mays. Same is true of the Stylistics. And yet, you look up, a couple of decades pass, and you decide to go back into the studio. Before I play a couple tracks from the new album, Falling in Love with My Girl, that one's going to be released on February 21st. So how honored am I that these brothers have come to see me before the stuff even drops. I'm grateful for that signal honor. I love y'all, man. I love y'all.
Yes.
I love you, and I appreciate it. But after a couple of decades, why, Arian? Why go back into the studio to do new stuff? You don't have to do that, man.
No, you're absolutely right. And we're at a very funny stage.
Mm-hmm.
People have approached us already, interviewing us about the project, and exactly what you just said, Tavis, is we work constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think any working entertainer would always like to record and have something new out. But, and just backing up, and I want to take up a lot of time, but when Tom Bell stopped producing us and Hugo and Luigi, who were the president and vice president of Avco Records, started producing us, the first thing our base said, you guys sold out. You did all this good music, now you come with this other music that, and I say that the urban contemporary folks can identify to. Now, that's a double-sided sword because that created work for us overseas. The stuff that was produced by Hugo and Luigi.
Sure.
So I'm saying all that to say, coming out with a new album where we don't want to lose what we already had.
Right.
And we told the producer, who was a good friend of ours. I mean, we work together. In fact, he's opened the show for us.
Right.
And I'm not saying this in a negative way, but he's a white guy from England. So their approach to music is a little different. Than what we are used to. And we don't want somebody coming and totally changing our sound.
I get it. When we come forward,
that's going to.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's gonna what? Finish your thought. I'm sorry, Ariane. That's gonna what? Finish that point.
We don't want someone totally changing our sound. We still want to be identifiably the Stylistics.
No, I get it. When we come forward, I'm going to play some of the new stuff for you so you can hear it for yourself and judge for yourself. But right quick, though, Herb, since Ariane went there, what does it feel like when your fan base tells you that you sold out, that you changed your sound? How do you process that, hearing your fan base tell you, y'all Negroes sold out?
Oh, it hurts. It hurts. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Especially coming off all of the hits that we had with Tom Bell.
Right.
And like Arian said, they thought that we were the one that got big-headed and was, we don't need Tom no more, we this, we that. But it wasn't us because of the record label and their contract with Tom Bell,
Right.
they bumped heads.
Yeah.
So they decided that they were going to do it themselves. It was a negative from the point that we lost, for a minute, that we lost the market here in the States.
Yeah.
But we gained a worldwide market that we had sometimes bigger hits over there than we had over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was a negative plus negative. So we were very fortunate and blessed because during the course of all that transition, disco music came in.
Yeah.
And we were able to ride through that wave with those hits that we had overseas.
No, it's a funny business. The music business is a funny and strange and bizarre business. But they've been riding the wave for a long time, 57 years and counting, and the Stylistics are still here. And not only are they still here, they've got new music, and I'll play it for you when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing, too.
And,
a new chair?
A chair? Who has time to sit?
Maybe all your new clients?
Now you're talking.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you'll find huge savings on custom prints, storage, chairs, and tech. And now save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
I fantasize. I close my eyes, wish I could see that you were here in front of me. You could be the one to take me high, so far beyond the rainbow in my mind. I've lost all of the time that passed me by. I've gone beyond and never ever could we ever be together. You turn all my sorrows into smiles.
Stylistics still got it. 57 years later, and they still got it. Arion, tell me about this track, sir. Talk to me about it.
Well, that's one of my favorites. When I first heard it, those hairs on the back of my neck, which little hairs that I have left anyway, started to vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
And I knew that could be a good song. Whether it's going to be a hit or not remains to be seen. But going back to the sound, I think with that song, it's still the sound of the Stylistics.
Turn it up, Miles. It's called Falling in Love with My Girl.
I step into the scene and play my part. I let the others come to claim your heart. I gave it all to you and better. The memories will last forever. The grass is greener on the other side. Sing your love for now and always. Deliver my love to you in my way.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
harder than we thought it would be. But we made it, you and me. Oh, was looking like we lost it, everything. But look at us now, baby. I know it took a while, but it's time for you to smile. And together, oh, we've come such a long way. Who's gonna be your shoulder? Who's gonna be there for ya when it's all over?
This new album called Falling in Love with My Girl releases February the 21st. And when I tell you everybody named Mama's on this thing, everybody. Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stones, Gene Simmons of Kiss, the Elton John Band. You got Chicago represented on this project, ZZ Top, Toto, Tower Power, Ray Parker Jr., just saw him 2 days ago, Jay Graydon, Nathan East. Just an amazing collection of artists, including one Shania Twain. Tell me, Herb, right quick about this track.
When we first heard that and heard Shania's voice, we said, "Oh yeah, that's a cold song." You know what I mean? Message-wise, the overall feeling of the song. It's funny how you can hear a song for the first time, and if your ear will let your mind know that's a song there. You know what I mean? And just listening to that when we first was presented with and heard it, we said, "Yeah, that's a cold song."
Give me a little more, Miles. Give me a little more. As I mentioned earlier, the project drops on February 21st. That track, Yes I Will, drops on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Somebody knows something about marketing and how to market a new project. They're dropping that on Valentine's Day. 57 years later, they should have figured something out by now. They know how to market and how to promote. And they are back on tour this year, and so you can check out the Stylistics on tour this year. This has been such a delight. I knew I'd have a great time. I'm a music lover, and I'm a Stylistics fan. I knew it'd be a lot of fun talking to Ariane and to her, but it's even been more than I could have imagined it would be. Ariane, I appreciate the time, sir. Thank you. And let me just say to you and Herb, thank you for, again, being the music on the soundtrack of our lives. I know I speak for this entire audience. We cannot imagine our soundtrack without the music of the Stylistics on it. So, Ariane, thank you, sir. I appreciate you so much, my friend.
Tavis, it was my pleasure. And I have to say this, too. We were talking about voices, but your voice is a voice of my lifetime, too.
Oh, you're kind, man.
It's unbelievable. And it's such a pleasure talking to you.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Herb, so honored. I appreciate that. Herb, I thank you for your time, man, and for your artistic genius all these years and counting, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to add to what Aaron was saying, if I can. Your voice throughout the music, whether it's the political game or on life itself. Been there with you, man. Been there with you.
Love these guys. The Stylistics on Tavis Smiley. What a great hour. Back here tomorrow, Lord willing, to do it all over again. Until tomorrow, thanks for tuning in to Tavis Smiley. And as always, keep the faith.